Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are back with an all new foundation review and wear test. We're going to be testing out the new reformulated L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation with hyaluronic acid. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so this is the newly reformulated L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. This now comes in a pump, and it used to come in just a glass jar and you would just have to pour it out. I don't know that I ever tried the original, but I'm super excited to test this one out. I picked up the shade 1N Ivory, so I'm hoping this is going to be a good match for me. So this foundation has a 12-month shelf life and it is made in France. And this one is adding to the skin-infused foundation trend that's going on right now. This is also supposed to have a skin-like finish and have skin matching technology. I have no idea what that means. It's supposed to do something with making sure it's the perfect match for your skin. I don't really know how that works though, so we shall see. So we're going to be wearing this for a good 10 to 12 hours today. I'm not 100% sure yet, but it'll be somewhere in that range. I'm super excited to have a new foundation to try out. So let's get the hair pinned back. And as with all of my foundation wear tests, I am going to prime and powder one side of my face and not the other so I can compare how each side wore. And I'm just going to take one pump to start. The pump seems quite nice. It is a very liquidy foundation, very liquidy. So I have primed this side of my face with my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, and then this side doesn't have any primer whatsoever. So I'm just going to go in with my Sigma and Brianna Fox 4 brush. This is the one I like for those thinner formula foundations. Okay, the shade looks good. The shade looks really good. Oh, okay. I really like how this looks on the skin. I'm really liking how quickly this blended out. Just want to add a little bit to see if I can get a little bit more coverage. It's definitely looking very skin-like. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a light to medium coverage. I'm just trying to see if it's at all buildable. It does look super nice on the skin though. I am going to need to take another pump. I don't think it's covering blemishes that well, so definitely on the lighter coverage side. Let's go into the side that I have not primed, and I'm just going to take my Real Technique sponge. I just want to see how it applies with a sponge versus a brush. So the sponge is definitely leaving me with more glow, but the brush gave me more coverage. Just going over my dry spots in particular right now. Okay, so both sides are looking quite nice. I just want to add. Okay, I'm really liking the finish on the skin. It's reminding me a slight bit of my beloved NARS foundation in that it's very lightweight. It doesn't feel like I have anything on, and it gives more of a light to medium coverage, and it gives a slight glow. So I'm really liking that. Even better, this is not tacky feeling. So for a more hydrating foundation, it doesn't feel at all tacky. That immediately makes me really happy. So I really like how lightweight it is on the skin. I'm loving that it's not tacky. Absolutely, if you're new here, I absolutely hate a tacky finish to a foundation. That is the main reason I use powder, to get rid of that feeling. So I love that it doesn't feel tacky. I love that it feels hydrating on my dry skin. It really did even my skin out very well. I do think I picked the perfect shade match. So if you are my shade twin, I think you'll be really happy with the shade 1N. I really like what this did for the skin. This is definitely not giving me a full coverage by any means. I do kind of want to spot conceal a few spots, but I love how it evened everything out. I love that it really does look quite skin-like. It really does leave a bit of a natural finish. And I found the sponge gave me a bit of a glowier finish than the brush, so I found that interesting. But let me pop off camera. I'm going to finish all the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back to get this wear test started. The rest of the makeup is on, and I'm really liking how this foundation looks. I think it does look very skin-like. So far, it's played very well with the rest of my products as well. I really didn't add too much powder. I did prime this side, but I really didn't need to add much powder. I just did my under eyes because the way this foundation dried down, it dried down to such a natural finish and feel. I also like that it doesn't seem to be clinging to any of my dry patches. I do feel like I've lost some of the glow that it had initially, but I'm not really worried worried about that. I still think it gives a very light to medium coverage, more on the lighter side, but I don't mind. I was able to easily spot conceal, and again, it played really well with the rest of my products. So I'm going to go about the rest of my day. I have some more videos to film, I have some stuff to do around the house, and I will come back at the end of the night to let you know how this worked. All right, guys, so we are officially at the very end of the day, and I'm actually filming this last little bit on my phone so I can really show you my skin texture. So first of all, what I noticed was it seems like the Canadian packaging is actually a little bit different from the US. It looks like in the US it is a white pump. This one is silver, but it is the same product. We are now at the 11-hour point, and I'm really happy with how this looks. So again, this is definitely more of a light to medium coverage. Blemishes are definitely still popping through, which I don't love, but I did do some spot concealing. So far, the rest of my makeup is still intact. It's still really holding onto the blush. I do have a little bit of a glow coming through, particularly on my forehead, which I don't mind. I kind of like that. I like anything that can make me look hydrated because my skin is naturally very dry. And I should also mention this foundation did last a really long time on the skin, and I didn't even powder it. I did my under eyes, but I found I just didn't need powder because it dried down to almost like a soft matte. It was very, very skin-like, very natural feeling. So I didn't need powder. I feel like I could get away with it and it wouldn't look bad. It's just that I didn't feel like I needed it. So I didn't really bother. I did my under eyes and that was about it. But overall, I really, really like this foundation. I find it very hydrating. I love the very soft glow it gave my skin. I think even somebody with oily skin would like this because it dried down to almost like a soft matte, but it really didn't have too much glow poking through at the end of the day. I think if you have oily skin, you could totally make this work with a little bit of powder, and I think that would be perfect. For my dry skin, this was so good. It did not cling to dry patches. My worst dry patch is right in around here, and I didn't find that it was clinging too badly. Up here is this little blemish that's healing, but I had also packed on some concealer, so I think that made it look a little bit rough as well. And then I've got some other lovely blemishes down here. Otherwise, though, I think everything still looks really good. I'm really happy with this. I think this is a phenomenal everyday foundation. I love to see that they've updated it and put it in a pump. I love that it has hyaluronic acid, so it's going to be very hydrating. And I definitely love the shade match that I got. I think that was absolutely perfect as well. So overall, I'm really happy with this. I love that it's not too much coverage. It is a really perfect day-to-day foundation. It lasted pretty much all day long for a good 11 hours. It's starting to wear off in some places, but it's doing so gracefully. However, it's still holding on to the other makeup, which is really impressing me. So I'm really loving this. I think this is a great foundation. I think this is another hit from L'Oreal. I think L'Oreal does a really great job with foundations. Their 24-hour fresh wear foundation is also a huge favorite of mine. So I'm not surprised that I love this so much. And another thing I loved was how quickly this blended out on the skin. It blended out so quickly, and it worked great with the brush. It worked great with the sponge. I did find the sponge gave me a little bit more glow, but overall, I love this foundation. But that is it for me today. Let me know down below if you're planning to pick up the new reformulated foundation, or have you tried it already? Let me know down below and let me know your skin type. But thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!